If You Would Labor in Zion, written and narrated by Brother Frank Natoli. While many of us have a favorite hymn, from the beautifully inspired hymns of praise that have touched our hearts and brought tears to our eyes, the songs of Zion are unique to our church. They're songs that belong to a new time. They belong to a new era. They belong to our people. They're songs sent from the throne of God as a gift to the Church of Jesus Christ. They're inspirational and related to Christ and His promises of the latter-day times and events. This gift was given to our late Sister Arlene Buffington as our songs of hope and joy, looking forward to the fulfillment of the kingdom of Zion, bathed in the latter-day glory of the restoration. Today's focus is number 102, If You Would Labor in Zion, by looking at the meaning and application of the song, because it's too easy to sing without paying attention to the words and their meanings. First verse. Many wait on the seashore, many rest on the tide. Many think that the crossing is too deep and too wide. Many think that the venture requires immediate rest. But you must labor for Jesus if you want to be blessed. Second verse. Jesus calls, are you sleeping? There's so much to do. It's not the time to be idle. I have labor for you. If you say that you love me, feed my lambs and my sheep. Take a walk on the water. Take a step on the deep. Third verse. Many perish beside you. There's no time for delay. It's not the time to be sleeping or while the hours away. Many drift on the current. Many follow the flow, while the laborers in Zion are preparing to go. Fourth verse. Jesus calls o'er the water. Have you caught any meat? I have fish on the fire. Come, my children, and eat. Never fear the great waters, nor the dangers below. If you would labor in Zion, it's time now to go. In the chorus, brother, step out on faith now. Sister, Jesus will see. He has fish on the fire, and He's waiting for thee. Cast your net on the right side. Leave your doubts all behind. When you walk on the water, there His hand you will find. Copyright 1987, Arlene Leah Buffington. Now, this song references the 21st chapter of the Gospel of John, where John records an amazing interaction with Jesus after His resurrection. Now, verses 1 through 17. After these things, Jesus showed Himself to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias, and in this wise, He shewed Himself. There were together Simon Peter, and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and 2 other of His disciples. Simon Peter saith unto them, I go a-fishing. And they say unto him, We also go with thee. They went forth and entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. But when the morning was come, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples knew not that it was Jesus. And then Jesus said unto them, Children, have ye any meat? And they answered Him, No. And He said unto them, Cast your net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. And they cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes. Therefore the disciple, whom Jesus loved, saith unto Peter, It is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt him fisher's coat unto him, for he was naked, and did cast himself into the sea. And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not far from land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. And as soon as they had come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. And Jesus saith unto them, Bring of the fish which you have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to the land full of great fishes, 153. And for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. And Jesus saith unto them, Come and dine. And none of the disciples durst ask Him, Who art thou? Knowing that it was the Lord. And Jesus then cometh and taketh the bread and giveth to them, and the fish likewise. Now this was the 3rd time that Jesus showed Himself unto His disciples after He had risen from the dead. So when they had dined, Jesus saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? And he saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. And he said unto him, Feed my lambs. And he saith again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. And he saith unto him, Feed my sheep. And he saith the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? And Peter was grieved, because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus saith unto him, Feed my sheep. Now, these verses and the song remind us that just like the disciples of old, we too sometimes find ourselves not engaged, distant, and disconnected from what's really important. The apostles didn't know exactly what to do after Jesus' resurrection, so they went back to what was easy and familiar. It wasn't sinful, but it also wasn't a focus on what Jesus had called them to do. Jesus reminded them, and he reminds us today, that we can't afford to let ourselves be overwhelmed by the conditions around us, nor can we afford to sleep our days away when there's so much to do. Don't get me wrong, I think everyone at one time or another feels a bit overwhelmed, tired, or just confused, but Jesus reminds us that no matter how difficult or challenging life may appear, no matter how easy it is to retreat into our own world, we cannot let discouragement or doubt or frustration, anxiety, worry, or fear become the master we serve. Instead, he directs us to step out on faith and see if he isn't there waiting for us. See if he hasn't already prepared the way for us. See that when we leave our doubts and place greater trust in him, that we'll experience greater blessings. But we must be connected and focused on spiritual things. And isn't that exactly what he's been reminding us of? Here's an excerpt from a revelation accepted by the Joan Church priesthood in April of 2022. The gift of tongues came forth, followed by the word of the Lord stating, Thus saith the Father, See now what is before you, and know that your hearts must be sure, and your hearts must be right, and you must be anchored to the principles of my Son Jesus Christ, the rock of salvation, that was given through him and the sacrifice. Are you there? Is your vision clear? Are your eyes focused? Is there love in your heart, or is there malice? Cleanse it now that you may see and you may be part. Thus saith the Lord. You see, when we do these things, we're in a position to labor for Zion, to labor in support of the divine commission, the house of Joseph, to labor in support of the Great Commission, all men and women. But whether we're laboring among or with Joseph, or laboring among or with Gentiles, or laboring to simply maintain our relationship and walk with Christ, the Lord invites all of us to come and dine as he's prepared a meal, fish on the fire, so that we may eat and be strengthened, and in turn, we may feed his sheep. May God bless you. And if you're interested in learning more about the Songs of Zion, listening to the songs, etc., there's also a link in the blog to the Songs of Zion website.